All right, if we look at finding surface area of prisms and cylinders, one way that we often talk about like 3D shapes is to create a net of the shape, which again can help kind of visualize things. So kind of a common one that we do if we were to smush this square down is we would smush it down like this. And then because we have to do something with this top, we would pick one additional spot. So I could put it here, I could put it here. I can only put it in one spot though. I can't put it in multiple. So how many different nets of a cube there are there? Excuse me. There are quite a few. There are actually 11. So if we take a look at these again, think about folding up this cube. If you were to fold it up and have all these different sort of angles or sort of combinations, you'd get a total of 11. Yeah, there we go. Let's just make it a little bit smaller. Or just move it over. There. Sweet. The sum of the areas of all the faces of a figure gives you the surface area. So again, this would be, let's see here, 1, 2, 3. This is a hexagonal prism. And so what I'd have to do is add up I'd have to find the area of one of these sides, these lateral faces, and then I would have to find the area of the two bases, and then I would add them together. So again, the lateral area is this blue area that goes all the way around it. So what I would do is I would find the area of one of them. I would multiply it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'd multiply it by 6, which again, so another way to do it is take the perimeter of the base. So that's what this is telling you to do. Take the perimeter and multiply by the height, or to find the area of one side and then multiply it by how many sides you have, which in this case would be 6. Let's just make it generic. So area of one side times number of sides. So that would work for any example. So again, 2 ways to think about it. You can find the perimeter and then multiply by the height, or you can find the area of one side and then multiply it by however many sides you have. And then you have to multiply your base by 2. Again, why do you multiply the base by 2? Because you have a top and a bottom. A cylinder, the net of a cylinder. So again, if we look at this, I start with here. Again, I'm looking at my radius and I'm focusing on the circumference. So I want you to think about what happens when you unroll this shape. You get a circle on top, a circle on the bottom, and this circumference actually turns into the length of our rectangle. So again, essentially what are we doing? We're going to take the circumference times the height plus the base area times 2, because it occurs twice. So if we remind ourselves to find circumference, the one that's given here, circumference, you can do 2 radius times pi, or you can do pi times diameter. So whatever one works for you. So again, to find the net, you can look at this and use the idea of unrolling. Think about if it was like a Pringles can, or if you were like unrolling like a label on a soup can. When you unroll that label, it's going to be a rectangle, and then the top of the rectangle is actually going to be the circumference of the circle. Find the surface area of each solid. So again, what am I going to do here? I'm going to find the lateral area, and then I'm going to multiply it by my 2 bases. Again, how I like to think about these is I have these set of sides are going to be the same. So I have 2 sets of sides that are the same. I have 2 sets of sides that are the same and 2 sets of sides that are the same. So I'm going to figure out what's the area of this. It's 18 and 5. and then I'm going to multiply it by 2. What's the area of this one? It's 5 times 10, and I'm going to multiply it by 2. And then to find my last one, I have 18 and 10. And then again, I have 2 of them, so I have to multiply it by 2. So just some quick calculator work. 18 times 5 times 2 gives me 180. 10 times 5 times 2 gives me 100. And 18 times 10 times 2 gives me 360. So when I add these all up, 360 plus 100 plus 180, I'm going to get 640 feet squared. All right, again, I'm going to break these up into finding each face. So I see that I've got 2 triangles that are going to be the same. And then I have, now I got to be careful on this one. So I think I might actually have 3 different types of rectangles. So I'm going to say I have one rectangle that's 9 by 15. I have one rectangle that's 15 by 10. And I have one rectangle that is 12 times 15. So let's go ahead again. The area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. 12 times 8 divided by 2 is 48, but then I have to times it by 2 because I have 2 of them, which is 96. 9 times 15, 135. 10 times 15, 150. And 12 times 15 is 180. Let's add all these up and get an area of 561 centimeters squared. Okay. Going to remind ourselves again, we've got kind of a regular shape here. So I have a formula to find the area of the hexagon. And again, I'm going to have two of them. Excuse me, this is a pentagon. And then I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rectangles. It looks like my rectangles are going to be 12 by 9. So let's say 12 times 9 and then multiply by 5 gives me 540. Well, we ended up coming up with a formula that we could take, again, because we're using triangles, 1/2 times the perimeter times the apothem. So because I know this side's 9, 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 9 times 9 is, or 9 times 5 is 45. And then my apothem is 7. So I'm going to multiply it by 7 and then divide it by 2. So 1/2 times my perimeter, which was 9 times 5, times my apothem, which was 7, gives me 157.5. So add that to 540 and we get 697.5 inches. The oil drum has a diameter of 2 feet and a height of 3 feet. Find its surface area. So again, diameter 2, height 3. The surface area of this is a net. We talked about it. I've got 2 circles with a rectangle. So if my circles have a diameter, again, I need to figure out the circumference. That's my big idea. Because I have the diameter, I'm going to use pi times d. So I'm going to say 2 times 3.14 gives me 6.28. This is a side of, or this is right here. So I can do 6.28 times 3 to give me 18.84. Now I still have to find the area of the 2 circles. So my area formula is pi times radius squared. The diameter is 2, which means the radius is 1. So pi times 1 squared is simply just pi, but I have 2 of them, So I need to multiply it by 2. So 2 times 3.14 is 6.28. So 18.84 plus 6.28 is going to give me about 25.12 feet. Surface area and pyramids of cones. So again, what does the net look like? If I have a pentagon, so I'm going to have my pentagon, and then from there, each one is going to fold out into a triangle. So the surface area of a regular pyramid is the sum of the base area and the lateral area. So again, this is a big B. Big B stands for the base. So basically, I'm going to take the base of my figure, and then I can, again, multiply it by the perimeter, or the other way to think about it is, again, to find the area of one of the sides and multiply by 4. So again, area one side. And then you multiply it times the number of sides. So let's take a look and dig into that. So again, I'm going to find, again, you should decide if you want to use the base or if you want to use the perimeter. I'm going to find the area of the base is just going to be 6 times 6. I'm going to find the area of one triangle is going to be 6 times 8 divided by 2. Which is going to give me 6, 12, 18, 24. And then because I have 4 sides, I'm going to multiply that by 4. So 24 times 4 is 96. So 36 plus 96 gives me an answer of 132 centimeters. Find the total surface area. Again, what does this net look like? This is still going to have a rectangle, but it is going, so our total surface area is only going to be one circle and a rectangle this time. So that's going to mean that one of my sides is an 8. And then to find the top part, I need to find the circumference. So again, circumference equals 2 times radius times pi, 2 times 6 times pi. So 12 times 3.14 gives me 37.68. 37.68 times 8 is 301.44. And now we got to find the area of the circle, pi times radius squared. So 36 times 3.14 is 113.04. So let's add those two up. 301.44 plus 113.04, giving us a final answer of 414.48.